Hi everyone. Today we'll be discussing how to connect your AVR to your TV or any other receiver for that matter to your TV, be it stereo or AVR. So we'll start off with the most basic or legacy connections, which is 3.5 mm and RCA. Now, both these are compressed formats and they can only give you two channels. So that means if you have a 2.1 system, you can power them, but beyond that, you can't. Next, we have optical or coaxial optical connections. These are digital connections and they can support up to 5.1 channels. So essentially, five channels, that means you can power up a 5.1 home theater system using that. Now, mind you, this is also compressed format. This is not uncompressed. Basically, these are lossy formats. Moving on to the more advanced versions today, we have the HDMI ARC. Now, HDMI ARC is different from eARC, and we'll get to that. So first, HDMI ARC, that has been supported from HDMI 1.4b. If you want to take a look at the document, here it is for you. You can pause the video and take a look at it. The maximum speed for data transfer on audio channels is 1 Mbps. It can support Dolby Atmos, but it can only support up to 8 channels. So you can have a 5.1.2 system on it, but it'll be compressed. And since it is compressed, so the audio quality might be a little lossy. It will definitely be lossy. With uncompressed format and 32 channels, we have HDMI eARC, which has been available from HDMI 2.1. Now, anything that you are connecting via HDMI, you have to make sure that the receiver and the source both are compatible. Although they are backward compatible, but in order to utilize HDMI 2.1, your source needs to be HDMI 2.1 compatible. So your TV needs to have an HDMI eARC port to which you will connect. Your HDMI wire that you're using, that has to be HDMI 2.1 compliant, and your receiver or whatever you're using, AVR or stereo, that has to be HDMI 2.1 compliant with support for eARC. And once you have all of these three things, then you can connect and have the full experience of an eARC, which supports uncompressed audio formats up to 32 channels. So you will be future proof essentially. You can have as many as channels as you want, uncompressed, that Dolby calls it True HD. The best format to have is HDMI eARC, but if you don't have that, then you can start eliminating from HDMI eARC to ARC. If you don't have ARC, then you go with optical. If you don't have optical, then you go with RCA or aux. Bluetooth is also a way to connect, but the thing is that Bluetooth has many issues. It is a lossy format again. I think maximum speed goes up to around 1 Mbps. But there are a number of issues when it comes to Bluetooth, especially when it comes to audio syncing issues or dropping off, dropping on. And if you switch off the source but not the speaker, then you have to reconnect it again. So I haven't mentioned it, but Bluetooth is also an option. And not to mention the Bluetooth versions that you're using between the source and the receiver, they should be of the same version. Let's say your source is at 5.3, but your receiver is at 4.3. So everything comes down to 4.3 because the receiver cannot handle the bitrate of 5.3. Having said that, usually when a source has higher Bluetooth connectivity, they do have wired options. For a hi-fi setup, try to remain on wired connections rather than wireless. And that's it.